Hey there, Doc Cincy here. Want to do a quick video. I told somebody in the group that I would make a video about leaderboard fishing. I did post one of my older ones. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible, so I'm not going to get into the very details of, why these are the best boards. Put a lot of time in figuring out which boards are the best. There's three really good: freshwater, only one saltwater, and the main thing behind it is they have fish that you can reel in quickly for a lot of points. A lot of people think the bigger the fish, the more points, the better it is, but it's actually a little bit opposite. You want the smallest points with higher values that come in quicker. So that is what I'm going to show you. The three saltwater boards, or sorry, the three freshwater boards are pretty straightforward. To make the most out of the saltwater board, there is a little explaining to do. So let's get into it. What I consider my go-to freshwater board now, it used to be the one with the Dolly Varden, but now I think US 9 with the bony tail chub is really what you're after. And it's really pretty much pretty easy. So you're just going to fish with the minnow on top. You're going to cast at all of the swirls. There's not a lot of big fish that you have to worry about catching. So if you over swirl, I let it drop. If you don't get an instant bite, this might be not a big one. You want to avoid the fish that pull your line when you hook them. So this is your bony tail chub. You're really looking for fish that take your bait right away. On this level, you can pretty much get away with pretty much get away with casting at all the swirls, letting your minnow sink a bit if it's not an instant bite. There's not a ton of bigger fish that you have to worry about. So I would just reel in everything on every swirl. And usually you get a bony tail chub almost every reset, if not every two. Like anything else, the epics are random, so you never know what you're going to get. But you're shooting for the bony tail chub. Just keep casting all your swirls till they are gone. And there are a ton of fish you see who take the minnow, and they come in quickly. I would reel that in, but try to show you the bony tail chub frequency. And I did let that bait drop. If you don't want the big fish, only catch the fish that you get a bite while you're reeling full speed, and you will avoid all the fish that run when you catch them. So that is another way to make it a little bit easier. Here's our bony tail chub. It's usually good for one or two per reset. So that's really why you score the points. That fish is worth 10 points, comes in quick and easy. There's a lot of fish that take the minnow. This last swirl that was over here, I know that bigger fish is there, so I'm not going to go back with that. I think it's just maximizing your time. Get through your menus faster. The faster you get through the menus, the faster your line is out when you get fresh. But this is a pretty no-nonsense board. If you just reel fast and don't stop over the swirls, you're going to get the bony tail chub. You don't have to worry about the bigger fish that do take more time and they're not really worth the points. So this is pretty much a no-brainer level. So two bony tail chubs on my first refresh, and I'm getting new swirls that are popping up. So fish all of them as they keep appearing before you refresh. But again, I know that one over there is whatever that large fish was, but I don't know if the largemouth bass is on this board or not. So still haven't refreshed. So this will easily, once you get this board down, you'll get consistently scoring 600 points per hour. So this is our third bony tail chub on this one refresh. Looks like I've got a new swirl there. I got another new swirl here. This swirl. Looks like it might be a bigger fish, though. So I rolled over it, didn't get a bite, so if I let it drop, it's not going to be the bony-tailed chub. So I would say this is probably your best board for points. There is one that's a little easier, but maybe less points. So my go-to, the board that I've scored the very most points on in 1 hour, I scored 747 points in 1 hour on this board, fishing for the Dolly Varden. And it is the similar thing. It is minnow on top, casting at the swirls, reeling full speed. This one you are not going to let your minnow drop at all. And if you're past those are big swirls. And knowing what the big swirls are helps. If you're reeling full speed and you don't get a bite, and then you're past it a little bit, then you get a bite, I would skip that fish because it's normally a grass carp. So you can see this one has not been as fruitful as that one we were just on. So it's been a while, and they might have changed the fish frequencies on here. And I do wonder if the Dolly Varden, I scored that 747. It almost seemed like the game had a problem because I was catching 4 or 5 per reset. So at least, so finally got a bite here. So again, this might not be as good as it was. But again, if I were to do the leaderboard, I would probably do S9. Come here. I'm tired of seeing S9 over and over again. It's not a Dolly Varden. And let's see, out there. And I'm going to move on to the next board after this if I don't get a Dolly Varden. Nope. So I would say maybe skip this after this. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've played it. And the next board I'm going to take you to is consistent all the time. That's South Korea 13. And again, it's going to be minnow on top, casting at, if you can tell the difference between the big swirls and the small swirls, just cast at the small ones. You're looking for the slender catfish as the fish you're after. And they come almost as frequently as that bony-tailed chub. This one is also pretty much consistent, 550 to 600 points per hour. And it's really just, I use this for a chain of steam. That is a big swirl right there, so I'm not going to cast at it. It's probably a skygagger. Pardon me. And the size of the swirl just, comes with playtime. The smaller swirls, when they're farther away, it's harder to tell. If you see a big swirl that's close to you, it's definitely going to be a fish that's going to pull when you catch it. So here we go. First reset. There's your slender catfish. Oh, and it's number 1,000. So pretty cool on that. And now we'll go to the saltwater board. And that is going to be US West 18. And you're fishing for the 6-point fish like the kelp bass. The California Corbina is the best fish on this board. It comes in like a 6-point fish, but it's worth 9. And this is a 2-step process. You're going to start off with the soft bait, and you're going to cast that at small swirls. I don't have any small. Those could be medium or large. They look like large. At the large swirls, you're going to cast the minnow. So I switch to the minnow in hopes of having a rooster fish or a Pacific sailfish. They'll be full speed. Take your bait. The one problem is you might catch a lot of wahoos, and those can. What I do is when I hook one that runs like that, I break the line because I don't want to wait to find out it's a wahoo. That was a rooster fish, so that's a good start. When the rooster fish and the Pacific sailfish really hitting hard, that's how you can get the mid 600s. This is also not single highest points per hour. I did get over 700 on US 17. But But that was a lot of luck and hard to see with the sailfish. There might be a sailfish and a roosterfish out there. I might have had both epics right off the bat. There were two big swirls by each other. So again, these fish come in really quickly for the 20 points. If you do get a shark on at any point, just get rid of that shark. Not worth the points, not at all. But I want to show you the two-step approach. I didn't have any small or medium swirls. Really, if I could just only catch California Corbina, that is what I would do. Like I said, it is the very best fish here. See if we get that rooster fish. It is a rooster fish. And again, on the ones that pull, I break it off right away. Rather than waiting to see if it's a wahoo or not. So that swirl didn't come back, but there were two swirls out there. And sometimes swirls do disappear. So I'm just going to kind of blind throw it out there and see if this is that. When I released it, I really thought that was a rooster fish. I think this is going to be it. So what you do is you're going to start with the soft bait and cast at the small swirls if you can identify them. You really need to learn the swirl size on this to make it work, because you'll end up catching a bunch of fish you don't want to catch. It'll slow you down. So I cast at the small swirls with the soft bait. Right off the rip. So high frequency on these fish on this board, and that's the reason I fish it. And they also like the bait that the other fish generally go for. So I start at the small swirls with the soft bait, and I will let the soft bait drop a little bit. And you know it's a small swirl, you don't have to worry about letting it drop, because there's not going to be a bigger fish, unless there's a big fish under it that's at medium that might come up. So here. Switch to the soft bait. I got some small swirls here. 1, 2, 3 small swirls. No big swirls. And again, I'll let it drop if I don't get an instant bite. And these are just, the easy points fish. And then after the small swirls, if there's a small swirl I didn't catch, and I'm switching to the minnow for the bigger swirl, I'll go back and hit the small swirls with the minnow, because usually if I didn't catch it with the soft bait, the minnow will pick it up. Letting this drop. So there we go. There's one more small swirl there. Really want to show you the process where I switch the two in one set, but got all big swirls the first time, small swirls the second time. Maybe 1 or 2 more refreshes. String of good fishing going on a refresh. And again, navigating the menus and getting your bait back out there as quickly as possible is crucial. You want to spend as much time with your bait in the water as possible. These are how you rack up the points quickly, these 6-point fish. So I'm out of swirls, so I'm going to do another refresh. I still got my soft bait on. See what we got here. It's a small swirl. I've got a large swirl out there. Might not be able to reach that. If I can't reach a swirl, I generally won't go for it. So this is not the fish at that swirl. I've got some random fish. It just hit that soft bait, so that swirl should be there. I used to switch to the casting rod and go after the ones I can't reach. And what if it's a wahoo? Then I've wasted time switching rods. That could be a medium swirl. That could be a corbina. No. Was probably a barracuda. And that large swirl is back out there. It was. I don't know if I could reach it or not. Nope. Back to the soft bait. Man, the swirls have just not been too prevalent. I only have two. One disappeared. I've got one over in the corner left there. Now see, that big fish I hooked there is because I let that bait drop. I thought it was a small swirl. It ended up being a medium swirl. So again, a way to avoid that is just reel full speed the whole time. I don't feel like this is casting as far as it used to. All right. One swirl here. Again, that when they're up close, it's harder to tell. That could be small, could be medium. I'm trying to get a corbina for you. Show you how fast they come in for 9 points. This is probably based on the time it's taken to get a bite. Probably that same large fish I just caught before. So it's probably going to be a corbina. Yeah, it's going to be a 6-point something, maybe a scorpion. All right, we'll go one more refresh, but you get the point. Avoid the big fish. Hopefully get the epics like we did on that first refresh. Ah, no, this is another one. You don't get it a lot, but they're ocean whitefish for 9 points. So that's another one. It doesn't come in quite as fast as the corbina. And then well, I can. Let's see. We'll go ahead and switch to the minnow and just see what that big swirl is out there. Well, if I could drag it over there. That is not the epic because it would have been an instant bite. And I use the spinning reel. I'll do one more refresh while I explain that. The spinning reel does reel in the fish a little faster. There's definitely a big swirl out there. We'll start with that. It's way far out. So this will be a wahoo or so release the fish, so we'll go back and get it. And it went way over there. Goodness. Let's see what this is here. Unless there's another big. And again, the time it takes to identify whether it's got a wahoo on or the roosterfish or Pacific sailfish. Just releasing it is just easier to. And going back and getting it if it is one of the epics, then waiting to see if it's a wahoo. So this will be a roosterfish. I've got a small swirl over there that I'll go get, and that'll be it. But again, so this will get you 550 to 600 points per hour, which is solid for saltwater. The bony tail chub board, 600 to 700 an hour. And a lot of people estimate what they think they get per hour, but once you sit down, pour down, put down, and record it, you find out that you're catching a lot less than you're guesstimating. So, I mean, if you fish 3 hours a day, freshwater, average 600 points per hour, you know, you're going to fish, so 1,800 points a day. I think that's well enough to get your gloves. So, 48,000 points a month. I've not kept track of the leaderboard. 6 hours a day would probably get you on the top 10. And go grab whatever this small fish is here. A medium fish. Sorry. A medium, not small. Well, and this is not the swirl, so there's another rando fish there. And again, if you get a shark on, let it go. Unless you want to reel the shark in, but if you're strictly after per hour maximizing your time, you want to let the shark go. Well, maybe that was the swirl. So I'm out of swirls, and that is it. Like I said, try to keep it as short as possible. And these boards, again, are just about getting the most points you can in the shortest period of time you can. So hope this helps somebody. And as always, best of luck and happy hunting.